So she's in. I needed to do some finessing. A little bit of damage going in, but that's all going to be covered up. There's a backsplash that goes with this, so I'm not too worried about that. There's a bigger gap that I'd like on this side, but it's just the nature of houses. They're uneven. You thought I was going to blame me, did you? But I didn't really touch this area with the drywall. So I'll just caulk that up, that'll be fine. In terms of the lip, it is bigger than normal, but I don't think I'll lose sleep over it. It's alright. More counter space, so that's a good thing. And you can't sort of tell in terms of, because I lined them up with the other countertop first, the lights, but you're only talking a couple of inches, nothing to fret about. So that's in. And next really is the plumbing. I've got to secure this with liquid nails. That's not going anywhere, but the backsplash, I got a shit ton to do. Who am I kidding me? I got a lot to do. But that's the countertop. It looks good. I like it. So it's backsplash day to day. I'm going to glue the backsplash up. I was talking to you the other day about problem solving, and you know, I would think this would be easy, right? Put the backsplash on, you just put some dollops of glue on it, and I sized it. I just plopped it out here, and it revealed a huge bow in the countertop. You know, so it was like a big gap in the middle, and so it's bowing, which is obviously not good. So I had to come down here. I don't know if you can see it. Might be able to. I had to shim the shit out of it. Excuse the French. To try and get this back up, which, you know, so you're pounding and trying to be careful with the hammer, but it's one of those things. It's like, wow, this should take 5 minutes, but nothing takes 5 minutes. Well, I've got the glue out. I'm also going to glue the last two baseboards. I couldn't put them in without the cabinet, so I'll put those in, put the backsplash on, and then move on to the next thing. So one thing I just want to point out, you know, you don't need a shit ton of glue. This is really strong. This is almost stronger than wood, this glue, in terms of strength. So it's not going anywhere, so you don't need to go nuts. Which is unusual for me, because I tend to overdo stuff. I think maybe because I'm just cheap. I don't want to run out of glue. These are 1/16 spaces, so my gap is 1/8. Had a little chip on that one, so I'm putting it on the bottom. What's going to be on the top? Well, yeah, you could notice it. I've got some gaps here. I'm going to figure out what to do there. There's a gap. So you can see from the last one, there was this huge gap, and so I drove a screw in the back into a stud, and it brought the gap closer together. What it actually did, it actually raised the cabinet, so it got rid of that gap that I'd been shimming. So I had to take out some of the shims because it was bowing up after I drove this. So I think it's one of those things that you learn with experience. If you do this for a living, you'd know that. And so I learned by making a mistake. There's a big gap there. You all saw it. It wasn't straight, it was out, so I actually drove it in and lifted this back up, and it all became plumb. So that's comical. Fortunately I was able to fix it because none of the glue had dried. So, you know, it's a manageable gap. I pulled back some of the shims, and this is now perfect.